In this film, a team of international scientists hope to discover the answers. For the first time, they're bringing CT scanning technology to the Valley of the Kings to try and find conclusive evidence about the fate of Nefertiti and those closest to her. Could one of these mummies be Nefertiti? Or her husband? If so, then they may have also discovered some of the closest relatives of Tutankhamun. The team is setting out to solve a riddle that's over 3,000 years old. The mystery of Nefertiti and the lost dynasty. Cairo, Egypt, a city of secrets and unsolved mysteries. At the Cairo Museum, Egypt's leading archaeologist, Dr. Zahi Hawass, is on the trail of a missing family, the lost dynasty of Amarna. It's a remarkable story that Egyptologists have been trying to unravel for centuries.
Amarna to me is like a play with no end. Mystery, fighting, drama, jealousy, killing, revenge. All of this happened in one play.
The characters in this play are some of the key figures in Egyptian history, from a family born to rule. A ravishing queen, the legendary beauty called Nefertiti. Her husband, the radical pharaoh Akhenaten. A second wife, the royal consort. A powerful mother-in-law. And a child who would become the legendary king, Tutankhamun. The story begins in Amarna 3,300 years ago, sparking a revolutionary era that shakes the very foundations of Egypt. It lasts for less than 2 decades. But in that time, Egyptian politics and religion are transformed. Nefertiti and Akhenaten stripped the old priests of their power, demolished the idols of the old deities like Amun, and established a new religion. It's the first known worship of just one god, the sun god, Aten. It's a brand new way of worshipping, with the pharaoh himself as the priest communing directly with his god. The couple move Egypt's entire capital from Thebes out into the desert at Amarna. In just a few years, they've thrown away a millennium of Egyptian tradition. Some would surely have hated them for it. Amarna burns brightly for some years and then collapses. Akhenaten's vision and his capital city fall into ruins, and Nefertiti disappears. Soon the rest of her family also fades from history. So what happened to them? Where did they go? The answers may lie here. In the Valley of the Kings, a team of forensic experts are on the trail of Nefertiti and the lost Amarna dynasty. Led by the exuberant Dr. Zahi Hawass, they've come to a dark and mysterious tomb known as KV35. Inside a small side chamber lie 2 mummies. They have been here for centuries without coffins and without wrappings. Some believe they were moved here from their original resting place, hidden away by priests to protect them from tomb raiders. Both of these mummies have, at times, been identified as Queen Nefertiti. Some have claimed that she is the body on the right, the so-called Elder Lady. But recently she's also been identified as the mummy on the left, known as the younger lady.
Some scholars, they believe that this mummy is for Queen Nefertiti. If you are a scientist, you cannot announce a discovery unless you are sure 100% that this mummy is for Queen Nefertiti. We are now in the beginning of scientific research to find out for the first time through the CT scan machine that can go inside the mummy.
The team's goal is to get scientific evidence that will establish whether one of these mummies is Nefertiti. This is the first time CT scans have been performed on the royal mummies of Egypt. The non-invasive technology allows scientists to look inside the remains in three-dimensional detail without doing any damage. Dr. Hawass has called in two expert radiologists to help in the investigation, Dr. Ashraf Salim and Dr. Hani Amer.
It is a mysterious mummy, but today maybe we'll be able to find out exactly that this mummy is for Queen Nefertiti and maybe is not for the Queen.
The identity of this so-called younger lady has been a source of controversy in recent years. Those scholars who believe it is Nefertiti base their theory on several clues. The most important is a broken arm, found in wrappings near to the mummy. The hand evidently once clenched a scepter, the symbol of ultimate power in ancient Egypt and the sign of a pharaoh or a queen. Other clues in the identification include an indentation from a headband and double-pierced ears, both of which match the last known images of Queen Nefertiti. But many scientists have argued these details are purely circumstantial.
My reaction when the news broke that Nefertiti had been discovered was complete rubbish. As far as I can see, it's absolutely no possibility whatsoever that mummy could be Nefertiti.
There's a lot of princesses by this time, probably 100. So it can be any of these princesses.
But Nefertiti wasn't a princess. Born into nobility, she was chosen by the pharaoh Akhenaten to be his bride and queen. Their love became the stuff of legend, literally carved into the stones of Egypt. They had 6 daughters together, but apparently no son. According to some scholars, Akhenaten may have awarded Nefertiti real power, not just as his wife and queen, but eventually as a co-ruler in her own right.
Akhenaten wanted to present Nefertiti as somebody who was sharing power with him. There are a few reliefs in which, very unusually indeed, she's shown smiting Egypt's enemies, as if she's on the same military footing as her husband.
But whether or not they ruled together, both shared the same fate, disappearing into the sands of Amarna. Dr. Hawass and the team are now ready to analyze the results of the CT scan.
The CT scan machine is not like the X-ray. It reveals everything about age, diseases, and this is why we can see 1,700 images of each mummy.
Egyptologists have long debated even the most basic facts about the mummy known as the younger lady. These scans may finally settle the arguments.
There are many questions that we have to answer.
As the first images scroll up, the scientists check some basic facts. The age at death was early to late 30s. It's from the 18th dynasty. It has a long neck and high cheekbones. Could it be Nefertiti? The gender isn't immediately obvious on this corpse.
There is no genitalia here.
But they soon confirm it's a woman.
It's definitely not a boy, okay? It's a mummy for most probably a female.
Hip measurements reveal this mummy as a female that could have borne children. Wisdom teeth, growth plates and bone deterioration all indicate the mummy could be the right age for Nefertiti.
I will say this is the wisdom teeth here on the right side.
The age is above 22 years of age, yes. The upper limit of the age I cannot be accurate for till this moment, but I would assume that we are talking about from 22 to 40, 45 at most.
Very good beginning, and we will really decide, I think, in a week from now, whether this mummy is the real Nefertiti or not.
She take a blow from the left side.
As the team begins to work on the identification, they focus on the broken forearm found nearby. But within hours, they make a surprising discovery. The arm doesn't appear to match this body. A second arm, also found near the mummy, seems like it would be a better fit. If that's the case, it could mean the search for Nefertiti has taken a radical turn. An international team of scientists is using the latest scanning technology to determine if this mummy is the legendary Queen Nefertiti. As they begin to analyze their findings, questions are raised in particular about the severed arm found in wrappings nearby. Its clenched fist appears to have once held a royal scepter, and its forearm is bent, both suggesting it once belonged to a highly important individual. In mummification, crossing one or both arms across the chest was a typical sign of royalty. Straight arms could belong to any princess. So bent arms, together with linen of high quality, were ways in which embalmers could illustrate that they were mummifying someone truly important. But the dimensions of this royal arm don't appear to fit with the mummy of the younger lady.
And we cannot assume that this missing, or this third forearm belongs to this mummy. No.
A straight arm, also found in wrappings nearby, seems like it might be a much better fit. So the Nefertiti identification may have been based on the wrong arm. The team uses digital imaging software to check which arm actually belongs to the body. While previous scientists believed this straight arm was too long, when Dr. Hani and Dr. Ashraf measure it, they find that once a bone fracture is factored in, it is almost exactly the same length as the attached left arm. A perfect match. As for the so-called royal forearm, it's simply the wrong length proportionally.
I can assure you this is not hers.
It is not.
No.
Perfect.
100%.
Perfect. Yeah.
This
Okay.
I can assure you. This is
Means, from looking at the hands, this is not a royal mummy of a queen. Then it's not. This is not Nefertiti. And this is a very important evidence that can disregard and tell us that this mummy cannot be Queen Nefertiti at all. We have to search for other mummies.
With proof that the younger lady is not Nefertiti, the investigation returns to the Valley of the Kings. Less than 500 feet away from Tomb 35 is another chamber from the Amarna period. Peter Lacavara is a member of the Amarna Royal Tombs project. He's trying to locate all the missing Amarna burials in the valley, and his research is currently focused here at Tomb KV55.
Well, Tomb 55 over here is one of the most intriguing and controversial tombs that was ever found in the valley. It was a very roughly hewn, unfinished tomb. This is the entrance shaft. It's really well cut and dressed. This is a very long sloping corridor which in a more elaborate royal tomb would have led to a series of chambers cut into the earth, but it's clear that this wasn't finished.
In 1907, archaeologists discovered a glittering sarcophagus with an Amarna royal mummy inside. But strangely, the face and nameplate on the coffin had been hacked out. The tombs of many Amarna rulers were vandalized after their deaths. Could this be Nefertiti? Some scholars think it belongs to her husband, Akhenaten, the heretic king who revolutionized Egypt. But the clues are confusing. All around the tomb are inscriptions bearing many different royal names, a who's who list from Amarna, all from the same extended family. The names include Akhenaten, his mother Queen Ti, and his second wife, Kia. And all of these names are linked to the most well-known pharaoh, King Tutankhamun. The famous boy king was most likely Akhenaten's son. Succeeding Akhenaten and Nefertiti, Tutankhamun inherited the chaos of Amarna. It's possible there could be a connection between Tutankhamun and the royal sarcophagus in this tomb.
The sarcophagus was found laying on the ground. It was covered by rocks from rockfall from the ceiling, along with fragments of the shrine that were stacked up along the side of the walls, and the canopic jars also on the floor. So it was quite a scattered mess when it was discovered.
The skeleton is clearly a royal mummy from the Amarna period, but its identity is a mystery. This identification could be pivotal to understanding the tumultuous period of the Amarna dynasty. The mystery skeleton from KV55 was brought here to the Cairo Museum more than a century ago. Now Dr. Zahi Hawass is preparing it for examination. Researchers have confirmed that it is from the time of Nefertiti. Dr. Hawass wants to find out if this mummy has any connection to the family group from the Amarna dynasty.
Yeah, we're going to move the mummy that was found in KV55 in the Valley of the Kings to put it under the CT scan machine.
Any mummy from the Amarna period is rare and valuable. But Dr. Hawass thinks that this skeleton may prove to be especially important.
Study of the CT scan machine will enable us actually to understand this mummy more, because that was done before were really little, but this is the first time that this mummy is going to be taken out from the museum and put it under the CT scan machine outside the museum to understand more. and more about the people who are related to Nefertiti.
Egyptologists have debated the identity of the KV-55 mummy since it was found. This scan could help unlock the names of the other unidentified mummies.
The most important for you to look at the skull. You see it.
As the body enters the scanner, the beams of radiation generate cross-sectional slices, images less than a millimeter thick, over 1,500 for the entire body. When assembled, they create a three-dimensional mummy, accurate down to nearly microscopic level. Scientists almost immediately identified this skeleton as male. The dimensions of the jaw, the brow, and the pelvic bones all confirm it. Clearly, this mummy isn't Nefertiti. And it will take time to find out who it might be. A week later, Dr. Hawass returns to learn what else the radiologists have uncovered.
We're going to see the result right now. The most important thing that from what you are telling me now, number one, we can say that the mummy in KV-55 could be 25 years old.
Yes.
Could be more,
Could
but
be
not
more.
less.
Not less.
Perfect.
The age range of 25 to 40 limits the possibilities of who it could be.
Number two, that there is similarities between...
The shape of the skull is almost like an egg. Experts call it dolichocephalic. It bears a striking resemblance to another mummy.
The 55, it is similar to Tutankhamun with the elongated head.
The similarity is uncanny. There is only a fraction of a centimeter's difference.
The one on the right side here is the mummy of King Tutankhamun, and this other mummy is the one with the KV-55. Both have the elongated shape of the skull, what we call the dolichocephaly.
It's displayed in all the artwork from that time. This elongated head sets the Amarna royals apart. Each has the same, from the patriarch Akhenaten down through all his children. But that's only the first similarity between the KV-55 mummy and Tutankhamun. The jaw and the cheekbones are almost identical.
The shape of the mandible, yes, again, it's mimicking.
Both have a light scoliosis of the spine.
You will see it's bending to the left side.
And also impacted wisdom teeth.
On the right side, the upper jaw, the wisdom tooth is unerupted and impacted.
Just like that of King Tut.
But the most intriguing similarity is that both this mystery mummy and Tutankhamun have cleft palates that are nearly identical.
For normal development, half right and left, they fuse together. Sometimes this fusion does not happen totally. And the King Tut, it was a very tiny cleft. Again, at KV-55, it's a very tiny cleft.
The cleft palate and dolichocephalic skull are both traits that can get passed down from father to son. Have the team identified Nefertiti's husband? A new analysis of the KV-55 sarcophagus offers surprising support. Although the cartouche bearing the name of the mummy inside was hacked away, small traces of that name were in fact left behind. Gold leaf fragments from inside the sarcophagus and hieroglyphs surrounding the cartouche all linked to one name, Akhenaten.
Sir Alan, who is one of the most important scholars in the field of the hieroglyphic language. And he took the inscriptions in this coffin. He studied the inscriptions carefully and did announce that the coffin belonged to Akhenaten.
Dr. Zahi Hawass and his team now believe that they have found Akhenaten.
But this is very good conclusion. Means we can say now that the mummy in Cave 55, based on this evidence, and based on the age 25, and based on the inscriptions that written in the coffin, that this could be the mummy of Akhenaten.
While it's impossible for experts to be 100% accurate, the odds are strong that this mummy is Akhenaten. Tomb KV55 is less than 100 feet away from Tutankhamun's tomb. But how did the Akhenaten mummy get there? Did Tutankhamun bring his father nearby to rest alongside him for eternity? If so, do the mysterious elder and younger ladies from Tomb 35 still hold more answers? As the search for Nefertiti continues, the focus turns back to the mummies of Tomb 35. In the lab, the forensic team is still at work, investigating the younger lady's skull. They know she's not Nefertiti. Some have speculated that she's an Amarna princess. Her mummification is certainly royal. But there's one clue that can't be overlooked. The gash in the cheek. Some Egyptologists believe that it happened long after mummification, possibly caused by tomb robbers defiling the corpse of Nefertiti. But Dr. Hawass has doubts.
If I know that this is the mummy of Nefertiti, and I want to take revenge of this mummy, what I will do? Why I come to a dead mummy that doesn't know how to defend herself or anything, and take this part only? Why not to damage the whole face? Why not to damage the whole body? Why not to take the body and throw it away? This is not an evidence of revenge at all.
And the data from the CT scan raises some interesting questions.
Yes, but I have another evidence here. I have another evidence.
Although the jaw is shattered, there are no corresponding shattered pieces of bone or flesh in the wrappings. Instead, what the radiologists see on the CT images are bone fragments and pieces of broken teeth deep inside the sinus cavity.
This is one of them, and this is another one.
The cavity is covered with embalming material, which sealed the wound.
This is the teeth, and this is the filling material they put inside the mummy.
In other words, the bones and teeth were shattered before the embalming took place.
So this leaves us with the theory that this injury had been induced before death. Okay? Now, this is a serious matter. We have to have some definite conclusions about that. Suppose that she was killed, okay, or murdered.
The wound must have been caused by a blow from a heavy object. And the Egyptian embalmers would have had a tricky job preparing the body for the afterlife. They would have had to clean the wound and then cover the defect with resin.
From the pictures I have here, the missing bony fragments are deeper to the soaking of the wound, meaning that they were there and then the packing occurred after, so as to seal off this wound.
The team also finds a large laceration on the left rib. All the clues point to murder.
And this wound looks like it has been inflicted before death, because we have actually loss of tissues in this area, and the embalming material is covering the surface.
As the researchers inspect the jaw, they also see evidence of hematoma, a thickening of the blood caused when blood vessels break. It can only occur when a person is still alive. This is a strong indication that they have indeed discovered a death blow, evidence of either a murder or possibly a tragic accident. But who is this mummy? The skull of the younger lady is not elongated like Akhenaten, but it does have several striking characteristics. It's asymmetrical at the back, underdeveloped on the left side. It also has an unusual bone in the back of the head, a small extra fragment between the two rear skull plates. Only one Amarna royal is known to have similar anomalies, King Tutankhamun. The team considers the possibility that the younger lady is in fact Tutankhamun's mother. Nefertiti was not Akhenaten's only wife. Like most pharaohs, he also took an important secondary wife. Her name was Kia. She was most likely an outsider. She was bestowed with the name Greatly Beloved Wife. Who knows what reaction her arrival might have caused in the palace? After all, Nefertiti and Akhenaten had 6 daughters, but no male heir. If Kia had produced a baby boy and heir, Nefertiti may have reacted badly. But Zahi Hawass believes that Nefertiti may have instead seized upon the opportunity and raised him as her own son. In such a position, she would have been able to ensure her royal line continued by arranging for him to marry one of her own daughters.
And in my opinion, she made him to be the king of Egypt because he was very young. He needed an adult to control him. In my opinion, that adult was Queen Nefertiti.
No one can say for sure what happened to Kia. She disappeared around year 12 of Akhenaten's reign. Many Egyptologists contend that she died around the time of Tutankhamun's birth. So could this mummy be his missing mother?
It could be possible that this mummy could be for the mother of Tutankhamun. Her name was Kia.
If the team has correctly identified the tomb of Akhenaten, then this mummy could be Kia. Now the scientists turn their focus on the remaining mummy in Tomb 35, the so-called Elder Lady. It is one of the most beautiful mummies ever found, with delicate features and long flowing hair. It's no wonder that some Egyptologists, like Dr. Susan James, believe that this mummy is Nefertiti. James is convinced of the striking physical resemblance between the Elder Lady and the sculptures of Nefertiti.
She's so tiny. Absolutely amazing to be inside to see these mummies for the first time. Absolutely gorgeous. She has such distinct features and very delicate, very beautiful features. You can see how she must have been quite beautiful when she was alive. And there is the pronounced filium that goes from the septum of the nose to the bow of the upper lip, the squared lower jaw, the elongated neck, just as in Nefertiti's statuary, and the crossed left hand with the extended thumb, which implies that she was probably holding a lotus scepter. The hair is spectacular and so unusual.
But there's contrary evidence that is just as strong. It comes from inside Tutankhamun's tomb, a miniature coffin inscribed with the name Queen T. Inside the coffin, there was a lock of hair. Back in 1978, scientists subjected that hair to electron probe analysis. They then sampled a small piece of the hair from the elder lady. The result was a match. Not Nefertiti, but Tutankhamun's grandmother, Akhenaten's mother, Queen T. Over the years, scientists have debated the accuracy of that electron probe analysis.
Last name unknown, first name unknown.
Now, Hawass and the team turn to the CT scanner for some definitive evidence about the elder lady. At first, the scans seem to bear out Susan James's theory. The square jaw, the high cheekbones, the distinctive elongated neck all point to it being Nefertiti. The left arm attached to the body is clearly bent in the royal position, and the mummification is clearly 18th dynasty. The details of her mummification look better than that of the younger lady. But then other details emerge. The team spots mild degeneration in the spine and knees that suggests an age range of 40 to 60. Historians place Queen T's age at death at about 50, which corresponds exactly with the CT scan results. For Dr. Hawass, the evidence suggests that this is Queen T.
Based on the radiologist's theory and the evidence they presented to me, that this lady died in the age of 40 to 50. She has the style of Dynasty 18. She looks very strong from the mummy. I could say that this could be Queen T.
T was one of the great queens of ancient Egypt. She held significant power of her own. She may have had a pivotal role at a time when Amarna passed its peak and began its inevitable decline. Dr. Hawass sees her as the classic mother-in-law. In this case, the mother-in-law to Nefertiti, a relationship with all the frictions that might have entailed between the mother of a powerful ruler and his wife.
This lady played a very important role in the Amarna period, because we know in year 12 of Akhenaten's reign, Nefertiti disappeared, and that is the time when Queen T arrived Amarna.
Queen T may have seen the danger that her son did not. That his revolution was failing. That Amarna was on the brink of disaster.
believe that Akhenaten was not really hearing anything about how the country looks like outside, and Queen T, his mother, came to advise him. It's like today, when the mother of the husband come to the house, there is fight. It's exactly like the ancient times. The pharaohs were human beings like us. Then when Queen T arrived at Amarna, she made something, poisoned the relationship between Akhenaten and Nefertiti.
Amarna, ancient Egypt's greatest vision created by Akhenaten and his wife Nefertiti, and the region's greatest social experiment, comes toppling down. Nefertiti and Akhenaten are purged from the carvings of the temple walls. The capital falls apart. Soon the new religion and the political structure follow suit. In the aftermath, Akhenaten's young son survives to rule. It's the end of the line for the 18th dynasty. But he's not just any pharaoh. He's the legendary King Tutankhamun. As Akhenaten's son, the boy king is heir to the throne, as well as the turmoil of his father's failed revolution. In a shadowy transition that's not well understood, he comes to power and restores Egypt to its pre-Amarna traditions. Tutankhamun's regime reinstates the old religion, the old priests, and the old power structure. He even returns to the old capital, bringing back the Egypt Akhenaten had thrown away. Tutankhamun is compelled to publicly break from his father's beliefs. He even changes his name from the one his father gave him, Tutankhaten, the servant of Aten, his father's sun god, to Tutankhamun, after the old god, Amun. It is as if Amarna had never happened. And when it comes to building his tomb, Tutankhamun chooses to return to the old cemetery, where so many pharaohs before him had been buried, the Valley of the Kings, nearly 200 miles from Amarna. This is where he is laid to rest, and where he remains undisturbed until his discovery in 1922. For Dr. Hawass and his team, the question is how the three other mummies from tombs 35 and 55 came to rest there as well. The answers may lie 200 miles south of Cairo, at Amarna. Once, it was the epicenter of Akhenaten's empire. Now, it's just sand and rubble. Marc Gabold of the University of Montpellier has been working here since 1999, exploring the empty tombs of Amarna. Over the course of many excavations, he's analyzed tiny fragments that were left behind. This evidence confirms one key theory at least, that while the royals of Amarna were originally buried here, they were later moved from Amarna to the famed necropolis at Thebes, the Valley of the Kings.
For the Amarna royals, quite sure that they were removed from Thebes. It's true for the king Akhenaten himself. I think that the body found in King Valley, tomb number 55, is in fact actually that of Akhenaten.
And there is reason to believe that Akhenaten did not make the trip alone. It seems likely that other royal mummies were also relocated to the Valley of the Kings. In ancient Egypt, there was no more important journey than the trip across the river to the west, to the Valley of the Kings, the gateway to the afterlife. King Tutankhamun may have decided to bring along his closest blood relatives to be near him in death.
That could be very important theory. Some people could be loyal to Akhenaten, Tutankhamun. He ruled from the age of 9 to the age of 19. In this 10 years, in my opinion, could be the time that he began to look for his father. He sent people to Amarna. They moved his skull and the bones of his body, they moved it to Cave 55, because we are sure now that this coffin belonged to Akhenaten.
Tutankhamun could have brought the bodies of his family across the desert from the ruins of Amarna to the resting place of the pharaohs, the Valley of the Kings. In an uncanny kind of family reunion, a reunion for immortality, he gathered his father, his grandmother, perhaps even his mother around him. The quest to discover Nefertiti has instead found what may well be some of her closest relations, all buried in the same small area in the Valley of the Kings, perhaps brought there by Tutankhamun, an Amarna family reunited at last. But what of Nefertiti? Perhaps she lies elsewhere in the Valley of the Kings, still waiting to be found.
Certainly there are still remaining patches of the valley that haven't been excavated, so it's certainly possible that there are more tombs yet to be found.
Nefertiti remains elusive, but at least more of her story is now known.
When we tried to search for Nefertiti, we came to an important conclusion that everyone has to know, that the mummy that everyone thought it's for Nefertiti, it is not for Nefertiti, because we gave the proof of that. But the other important fact, that we succeeded to collect a group of people, that all these people belong to the family of Amarna, and this is very important conclusion.
And so while Tutankhamun's tomb has become famous for its riches, it may one day come to have a different significance. As a focal point for a family reunion, reclaimed from the ruins of Amarna. A lost dynasty together again on their trip to eternity.
The weapons are sharpened and the battle's fierce. Mel Gibson stars in the film epic Braveheart here on More 4 next.